Hi everyone, I'm John. Welcome back to my channel. It's January 21st, 2022. I'm still getting used to saying 2022. I wanted to post a Friday Reads, and the first thing I wanted to do was ask a question to everyone who watches my Friday Reads videos especially. I've said on my channel that I'm a pretty slow reader. And I've sort of made a resolution for 2022 to start posting, at least this was the plan initially, to do a Friday Reads every other week. And the reason why it would be every other week is because I thought no one would want to see me hold up a book for 2 or 3 Fridays in a row and tell you that I was still reading something. And, with books that are 400, 500, 600 pages long, that could easily be the case for 2 or 3 Fridays in a row. Do you still want me, and feel free to post comments and let me know, even if you've never posted before. Do you still want a weekly video? Is there any interest in that, or would you get tired of seeing maybe the same books back to back on Fridays? Let me know, and if there's enough interest in weekly Friday reads, I'll make them every Friday. But I was just imagining people would get bored seeing some of the same books more than once, twice, 3 times. I know that would sort of turn me off, but I know that my preferences aren't necessarily everyone else's. So I wanted to ask. And if there's enough interest, like I said, I'll post one every week. But I did want to take some time to also tell you what I was reading or will be reading this week. I have chosen to do something I often do, which is read something light and then read something a little bit on the heavier side. The light reading, if you want to call it that, I guess it wouldn't be for some people, but it is a Balzac novel, one of the 90 or 95 novels that he wrote that come from the human comedy. He broke the human comedy up into several parts, a dozen or 2 parts, and this novel, Cousin Bet, comes from the subsection of the human comedy called Les Parents Pauvres, which means poor family members, or is often translated as poor relations. And Cousin Bet is one of those poor relations. This novel is, when I was in high school, my best friend in the world, this was his favorite novel. So 20 years on, I figured it's probably time for me to read this. The next is the heavier sort of, in this case it's philosophy. This is Georges Bataille from Zone Books. This is Volume 1 of The Accursed Share. Georges Bataille was a French philosopher, and I think he wrote this back in, I want to say, the 40s, but I could be wrong. This is a book about political economy, very broadly construed. Usually when we use the word economy, we think about the economy of things we have to save because they are valuable and need to be conserved and need to be put to specific use, need to be allocated in very sort of safe ways. However, there's nothing necessarily necessary in the word economy that says that what we're dealing with has to be something that we need to save. Economy just means, broadly speaking, how we use or how we allocate resources. There's another sense that you can possibly use the word economy, and this is what he does in The Accursed Share, and this is actually what the title refers to, is an economy of excess, an economy of exuberance, an economy of the extra. And so, for example, there is a tradition in many North American indigenous populations of something called the potlatch, which is a big ceremonial gathering with the express purpose of displays of conspicuous wealth and consumption, and sometimes even the destruction of wealth and food for the purposes of showing off your standing within the community. And that kind of that's the approach he's taking with the word economy here. So it's not economy in the sense of things that need to be saved or conserved. It's the economy of things that we have too much of, and things that have to be wasted, almost necessarily, because we can't use all of it. So I thought that was a fascinating idea. There's also Zone also comes out with volumes 2 and 3 of this in a single book. And if I get along well with this, I already have volume 2 and 3, and I'll pick that up after I'm done with this if I like it well enough. And in case you haven't already seen the reading group with Davud Gosli and Daniel over at OG Rose, our reading group has recommenced for the new year. And the book that we're reading, we've already had our first discussion on Monday, and we'll have our second discussion on the 31st. That's the plan, at least. Is our discussion of this book, Existential Monday, Philosophical Essays by Benjamin Fondin, with an introduction, a great introduction, by the way, perfectly sort of couches his thought and his life into a nice sort of 40-page or so intro by Bruce Ball. Never heard of Fondin before. He was a Romanian-born man who moved to France and had some close ties with some of the intellectuals and philosophers of his day. Shioran, another Romanian thinker. I know some. When he moved to France, tried to get into the literary and philosophical set, and had to some degree some successes, but unfortunately ended up dying just weeks before the Allied occupation of France. Died in Auschwitz in October of 1944 at an extremely young age. He was in his 40s. But these are some of the most interesting works. It's an introduction by Bruce Ball and 4 of the essays that have been sort of curated by Ball. We discussed the intro and the first essay, so all we have left to discuss are the last 3. And we'll break those up somehow. But this is what we're reading in our group, and that is what I'll be reading this weekend. If you have any questions, please let me know about your preference for how often you would like to see a Friday Reads video. I'm very, very curious, and I will follow the crowd on that one and do what everyone else says I should do. So just I know it tends to be a more popular kind of video, and it's something I enjoy watching what everyone else likes to read over the weekend too. So let me know, and I will see everyone with my next book review on Wednesday.